Hello everybody, Rosemary here from the Lavinia Stamps Design team. I hope you're all keeping well and enjoying the Halaganza. Tracy's new stamps for this release are called Starlight Whispers, and today I'd like to share a tutorial with you on how to make this beautiful card using the stamp called The Nook. So, to start our card, I have a piece of Multifarious that I've already cut, and it measures 10.5 centimetres by 19 centimetres. And we're going to start with the background first. So to start our background, we're going to use our first colour is Elements ink called Blue Atoll, and I've got my circle mask. I'm going to put my circle mask here on my card. Okay, so I'm just gently going to go round my moon, my circle mask to make a moon, with the light blue so that it looks like there's some light behind it. I'm going to start on my mask, and I'm just going to gently go round . Okay. The next colour we're going to use for our sky area is blue, Della blue. So we're just going to get a piece of tissue so I don't get no oily skin marks on my card. I hope you're enjoying the Halaganza so far. It's so nice. There's so many prizes to be won and so many techniques and tutorials from everybody on the team. If you go to the shop, it's a wonderful experience. Absolutely wonderful experience, and they'll be having competitions there as well. That's better. I'm leaving part of my card at the bottom, not having no blue in it, because that's going to be our grounding area. And now I'm going to swap to my last blue elements, because I use 3 for this card, and this one is called Dark Denim. And this really is quite a darker colour. So go around my edges. I'm using the flat end. I'm pressing my brush gently into the card, not hard, very gently, and I'm using just the side. When I've done the other part, I was going around in circles with the end of the brush. I will fast forward some parts of the card while I'm doing it, because some parts take quite a long time, like the colouring of the tree, because I'm colouring it in pencils. So next we're moving straight on to our green. And for our green we are using pine first. I'm swapping over to my green brush. So we're using Pine Elements ink first, and then we're going to swap over to Bermuda. And we're going onto the card with the end of the brush. And I'm bringing my green and mixing it in with the blue from the sky area to sort of like give where our horizon's going to be. And then we're swapping to our Bermuda. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I'm really sorry if my voice keeps going up and down. And I may have to cough every now and again. Really sorry about that. And there we go. That's our main background done for the background, the sky and the grounding area. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our Nook. It's a beautiful stamp. It comes out lovely. So I'm going to get my stamping platform. And prepare my card. Well, I'm going to remove my moon mask. And then, as you can see, I put the house sort of like just on the edge of the moon. So I'm going to do the same again. I put my magnets on. Oops. There must be one underneath. Yes. Pick up my stamp. And for our stamping of the Nook, we're going to use Pinecone Versafine Clair. I have a little cloth I'm going to press down with. And there we go, that's our Nook stamped. I'm just going to move them up a little bit, take that off. Right, I need to put my moon mask back on. So let's put our moon mask back on. Hope I'm not sticking my head in the video. Okay, so now with our mask, our stencil, this is called Ambience, and I just want to give some texture into the background. Okay, there we go. I just need that little bit of texture. So the next thing we will do is we will stamp Annie and Edward. So this is Edward. It's a really cute little boy. And this is Annie. And for this we're using Versafine Nocturne. So they're just being stamped either side of the nook. And the next thing we're going to stamp is our little lanterns. We're going to have some lanterns coming down from the side of the tree. So I've used the small lanterns, and I've used the round one because it matches Edward's lamp. And I'm going to place my lantern there. Now I have this piece of masking tape here for a reason. I'm just going to cover where I don't want to ink my stamp, because I don't want it going up into the tree. I just want it to go onto the edge of the tree. And I'm going to put a piece over the top, actually over the stamp itself. And once again, I'm stamping with Nocturne. And then I'm going to pick that up and throw it in the bin. And then I'm going to stamp my lantern. And that's our first lantern. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. I'm going to use a bit of acetate this time because my stamp has got ink on it. So line my stamp up with that one. And I'm going to pick my stamp up, use my piece of masking tape to mask off where the tree is and stamp our other lantern. There we go. And we don't need our lanterns anymore, so they can be put away. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually stamp around the base of our tree. And for this, we need a mask. So for the leaf, the fern, our woodland fern, we are going to use Shady Lane. And we are going to use first and second generation on our background. I'm really sorry. So we're going to have a first generation coming up towards our lamp. And a second generation just coming out down here. And then I'm just inking up the tip because I want to have like a first generation coming just a little piece outside this side, and then I'm going to do this one again, just coming up towards our lantern again in first generation, and then second generation coming from there. Now I made sure that I kept all of that on my mask so I didn't get any around the tree that I didn't want. So we're just going to do a couple more in second generation. Which will be hiding in the background behind the ivy. Lavender, I mean, not ivy, lavender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put a first generation. I'm going to put a first generation just at the base. And then the next thing we're going to use is our lavender. I'm going to use a beautiful new colour from Versafine Clair called Lilac Bloom. This is a very, very pretty colour for our lavender. I'm still going to use my circle mask because I only need to do the top part of the lavender. But just a few little bits in first and second generation coming out from behind the tree. And there we go. Put one more little bit just here. There we go. So we can now put our lavender away. Now we're going to use the same colour on our leaf spray, which is going to go up the side of the card here. And I'm using a bigger acrylic block for this one, the same size. And once again, we're going to use our Lilac Bloom Versafine Clair. Now on this stamp, there's a twig going down the middle. I don't want the twig on the card, so I'm going to carefully just do the blossoms like that. Then I'm going to ink up again, and I'm going to bring it a bit further up the card. There we go. So we can now put our leaf spray away. And the last thing we're going to stamp is the cedar up the top. So we've got the cedar up the top. I chose the cedar because I really do like it. It's a very delicate stamp, and I haven't used it for a while, and I just wanted to mix and match some old and new stamps together. So I'm going to put this back on my 2.5 inch mark. Move that over there a bit. Now for the cedar, we might need to push this down a bit. So we want to get just a little bit of the cedar tree in there. I'm going to pick up, and I'm going to mask off with masking tape the 2 flowers. And with our pine cone, we're going to ink up the branch. And then we're going to stamp our branch. And then we're not going to move our stamp, but with our grass green, we're just going to ink up the leaves. There we go. Now we need our acetate back, because we're going to be moving around a stamp that has some ink on it, even though we're going to give it a wipe. And then we're going to bring some branches in towards our house. Okay. And we're going to do the same again. And our last one, we need our acetate back, is going to come down above our tree, about there, maybe. There, that's where I want it. Right, oop, don't move your acetate. Right there. Move our acetate. And then re-ink our branches. I think I just want to take some of that brown off there. So we'll just re-ink our branches. And we're just going to put one cedar seed or cedar nut onto our card, just here. We're going to do second generation with our cedar nut. And we finished our stamping, so we'll just put the stamping away. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to reground our area. We're going to make it brown, but we're not going to do too much brown because we still want the green to show through. So for this, we're going to use Elements Henna on my brown brush. But we're just going to gently, very, very gently, very, very gently.
Where we put the dark green.
Now we can remove our mask and we can concentrate now on colouring in our project. Now I'm using some pencils. There are lots of pencils on the market. There's a whole huge variety of them, and I'm just going to use the ones that I have. You can use the ones that you have and they'll all be fine. I'm using a couple of blues, a few yellows and a few browns for the tree. So in my lamps, I'm going to just put some yellow. Then I'm going to go round with a paler yellow round the edge. And I'm also going to do this window up here in the darker yellow. Quite a pale brown for my, and I'm using circular motions, west circular motions, and you get a nice smooth consistency. And then I'm going to just vary my browns. On my treehouse part of my nook. And colouring my pine cone. No, not a pine cone. Cedar seed. I'm going to do my door in blue. And use a darker blue for the other part of the door. Now for my tree, I used 4 different browns. I used a darker brown for this part in the background here. And do the same for Edward. And do that grounding area for Edward as well. And then I think I'll do what I did on my original one, is to get them to sort of stand on like a little hill. So that's our grounding area done as well. And the last thing we just need to do now is to just give a little bit of gold pencil pen work. So I've got this Artistro permanent marker, which is a beautiful gold, and I used it for the dots on the tree. Just to bring in some highlights for our tree. To look for where the dots are. I think that's all of them. And the next thing I did was put my mask back over there. Used Annie and Edward over their bodies. And took a ruler and then just gently tapped around to get a gold rain effect on my card. And I just want one more for the handle of the door. And I've forgotten to do the window frames as well. So I've got to make sure I don't touch my card now. And there we go. So our final thing to do is just to go round with our glitter pen. And this is our finished card. Well, this is our finished topper. And I've called this card, Who Lives in a House Like This? And that's... okay. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the Halaganza. And I wish you all the best in the competitions. And I hope many of you win a prize. Look forward to doing another tutorial soon. Have fun. See you soon.